Welcome to the Ogden City Council's quick meeting recap for the work session that took place on Tuesday, May 24th, 2022. In the work session, the Council reviewed the results of the Community Renewable Energy Program survey that was conducted in February and March of 2022 by Weber State University. The results were presented by representatives from Weber State Center for Community Engaged Learning who were responsible for completing and analyzing the survey data. The results showed that there is some desire and appetite from residents to pay more for renewable energy. This report was not provided to the Council or administration prior to being available to the public. The Council will discuss further steps at a future meeting. The Council then discussed a proposed amendment to the fiscal year 2022 budget to recognize and appropriate storm sewer grants. The amendment recognizes and appropriates $160,000 of grant funds from the Dumke Foundation for improvements to Kayak Park and $69,000 of grant funds from the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources for improvements to the Ogden River. The amendment also transfers $590,352 from Capital Improvement Plan Project SU-079 Weber River Restoration to a combined CIP project SU-078 Ogden and Weber River Restoration Project for a total appropriation of $819,352. Combining these projects gives more flexibility and leeway to administrative staff when expending the funds. The Council, also acting as the RTA, reviewed and discussed a proposed amendment to the fiscal year 2022 budget to recognize and appropriate funds for swift environmental costs. The amendment transfers $2,082,350 in funds from BDO retained earnings to the Redevelopment Agency to cover any additional environmental remediation costs at the Swift building site. This covers additional site work required because of a leaking underground storage tank. The project costs are $4,315,975 to date and $6,398,325 after appropriation. The city's negotiations with the Environmental Protection Agency for cleanup costs on work completed in 2020 are ongoing. The Council then reviewed and discussed the proposed fiscal year 2023 budget for the Police Department. The total budget for the Police Department is $26,648,600, which is an 18.4% increase from the previous fiscal year. Significant changes in the proposed budget include an 8% increase to employee compensation, along with step increases, a budget reduction of $182,825 in small tools and equipment to help fund additional positions, and the addition of 2 new police officers and a grant administrator, which will do the work for police and fire. The proposed budget for the Weber Morgan Narcotics Strike Force is $278,500, which is the same amount as the Council's fiscal year 2021 adopted budget. The Council also reviewed and discussed the proposed fiscal year 2023 budget for the Management Services Department. The total budget for the Management Services Department is $6,305,925, which is a 14.35% increase from last year's budget. Significant changes in the proposed budget include employee wage and benefit increases from administration, marketing, justice court, human resources, comptroller, fiscal operations, purchasing, and recorders. No new positions were added within the department, but 5 were reclassified. All departments within Management Services General Fund received an increase from the budget the previous year. The budget for Fleet saw a 10.95% decrease from the previous year. The Council then reviewed the proposed fiscal year 2023 CIP projects for the Management Services Department. The proposed CIP projects for Management Services include $230,000 for improvements to general facilities and $300,000 for ballistic improvements at city facilities. The Council then discussed the proposed fiscal year 2022-2023 tentative budget Schedule A. The proposed changes to Schedule A increased the fiscal year 2023 tentative budget by $244,325. Some notable changes include an increase of $266,625 to the Sanitary Sewer Fund to cover the cost of increased sewer district charges, a net reduction in the General Fund of $20,000, and a decrease of $70,000 in the Refuse Fund for customer communications, and an increase of $70,000 for the Clean and Green project. The Council then reviewed and discussed the proposed salary schedules for the fiscal year 2022-2023 budget year. The salary schedules would provide cost of living increases for all employees and officers of the city. The COLA increases include 14% for sworn fire, 8% for sworn police, and 13% for general employees and officers. The total cost of the wage and benefit changes for all funds, including proposed new positions, is $13,874,975. The Council directed staff to draft a separate ordinance so that salaries of elected officials can be considered separately. The Council then reviewed and discussed the status and next steps for the Marshall White Center. A proposal for the project was presented by consultants a few weeks ago. A $2 million budget amendment for this project was received to fund the design and construction. The Council suggested that the advisory committee hold one more open house to present the conceptual plans to the public for final comments. More discussion on this project will take place at a future meeting. The entire recording from the meeting of May 24th can be accessed on the Ogden City Council's Facebook page and podcast, with timestamps to skip to specific agenda items. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to the Council office at 801-629-8153 or send an email to citycouncil@ogdencity.com.